Greetings, cinephiles. Are you looking for a movie analysis podcast that stands above the rest? Then look no further than Collateral Cinema, the only movie podcast that matters.
We analyze good movies, we analyze bad movies, and yes, we also analyze the in-betweens of the world of cinema.
So if you like what you hear, find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly. So when you listen to us, smoke it if you've got it. And now, here's a new episode of Collateral Gaming. The show starts right now.
Tonight, on the holiday edition of the bonus round, Beau Maddox from Collateral Cinema joins to talk The Angry Video Game Nerd with our top 5 favorite Season 1 episodes.
So stick around, folks. The show starts right now.
Happy holidays and welcome to Collateral Gaming Bonus Round. I'm Ashley Chancellor.
And I'm Beau Maddox.
And we are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas. And yes, my friends, we are a 420 friendly podcast. So whatever you have, smoke it if you've got it.
And we certainly smoked it while we got it, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. But whether you're listening to this now or on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas Eve, on Christmas, Merry Christmas, or in general, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating this month, or even if you're not, we're doing sort of our holiday edition of the Director's Cut tonight, and like last season, we are going to be talking about The Angry Video Game Nerd. Now, what's cool about that, Beau, is that you specifically consider The Angry Video Game Nerd something of a holiday tradition of yours, right?
Yeah, it's something that I like to do once December comes around at the very least. Sometimes even a little bit earlier, like maybe in late November. Is I like to binge all the Angry Video Game Nerd episodes. I mean, it's for some reason, like to me, I mean, I don't know if it's with anyone else, but I kind of consider like video game to be very Christmas related in general. You know, it's very holiday centric, you know. It's why I'd even argue that video game music makes for good Christmas time music because, you know, especially for our generations, I mean, that evokes a lot of nostalgia and everything. So, and a lot of us got our first consoles and everything around Christmas time, you know.
No, yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, that's kind of why I started this tradition. Maybe about 3 years ago, I started doing it. And, yeah, it's still something I do, and it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun going back and watching all his episodes, and it was a lot of fun watching Season 1 for this episode in particular.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it as well. I mean, and that's something I've noticed hanging out with you. You know, as often as we have over the years, is that around like Christmas time, holiday time, December, you know, we binge a lot of Angry Video Game Nerd episodes, drink some Rolling Rock. Kind of wish we were drinking the Rock tonight.
No, we're
just
rocking.
Didn't think about it.
We're rocking the High Life right now.
We are rocking the High Life. So
yep.
You know, maybe whenever we do the next thing, we'll get Rolling Rock instead.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, folks, this is going to be a fun episode. We are doing our top 5 Season 1 episodes. Last season for the holiday bonus round, we actually did our top 5 Christmas episodes specifically. So this time we're going to be talking about just top 5 from Season 1. So I guess let's go ahead and let's get into it here. Beau, if you want to start us off with your number 5 pick.
Well, first off, most all of my picks except for one are the movie-related games in this season.
That makes
sense. Which, you know, yeah, of course, I'm Collateral Cinema's main host and everything.
Quite a few of mine are as well,
Yeah, definitely. And number 5 is actually a series that we are very familiar with, and that is Rocky. Now, the episode itself, I mean, it's quite possibly one of the more quality Season 1 episodes, I think.
Yeah, I really like how they do like kind of a a rendition of the Rocky theme that sounds so close, and they just change a few notes, and it's okay. Like, it's a different theme, but it's like I can hear the Rocky theme in my head.
And later on in the episode, he also does the iconic stair run and everything.
With the stair run.
Yeah, with the celebrating and everything. And it's like, and throws the game, not the cartridge, I think just the case and everything. He just throws it down the steps and he celebrates. And yeah, I mean, those are some pretty classic nerd bits, but the game itself, I mean, it seems like just a lot of training and a lot of kind of controlling your character, but not controlling it or something. Like the nerd goes into it a little bit and reads out of the actual manual, and it's this weird kind of, I don't know what to call it. It's very... It feels almost abstract, like, it's something that you kind of have to feel or something like that. And it's like, I mean, fair enough. There's some games that are like that early on in like Nintendo's original console cycle. But I mean, this isn't even Nintendo. This is Master System.
Yeah.
But yeah, early on in Master System, but it's like, I don't even know how you actually play the game. Even just watching him play it.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I love the bullshit about how, like, you have to actually punch the punching bag to get enough power, and like that's actually critical once you get to the Clubber Lang level, which is like the second one, right?
Yeah, the second one, and I think that really shows, why that training element. I mean, it's important to the game, but it's also, kind of what makes it a chore to play, because you really have to, train in order to be able to step up to Apollo or Clubber.
So, like you said, like maybe that is kind of the experience. Like in the end, you get the Rocky experience, but it's kind of bullshit to have to subject to like just some kid in middle school.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. It's a much more complex control scheme than you should be getting away with on the goddamn Master System of all things.
Exactly. But yeah, no, that's a really fun episode. Honestly, it almost made my top 5. In fact, I think it was, and then I noticed it was on yours, so I decided to just talk about another episode. But
yeah.
No. This is a great one. I love and also with us having recently done Rocky 2.
It's very fitting.
Right, and kind of brought up memories of us doing Rocky 1 back in season 1.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was definitely a cool episode. So my number 5 pick is actually one of the topical episodes. I think the only topical episode, kind of the first topical episode that the Angry Video Game Nerd did on back on season 1. So chronologically confused about bad movie and video game sequel titles.
He makes so many good points in this in this episode, and what's really interesting about it is it's the first one that's really just more of a long form rant. I mean, he doesn't even really appear in the video itself proper. It's a lot of just drawings and everything, and then like just mock-ups and representations of all the different games and game titles and how they were different, the movie titles how they were different, like the whole thing with the zombie movies and with Final Fantasy and also with Zelda, even.
Right, yeah. I think it's actually pretty funny too, because Rocky is one of the that's one of the movies he talks about. And he also touches on Rambo. So I think this is maybe the first episode he does that actually doesn't talk exclusively about video games. Yeah, it actually kind of showed how, I mean, James is, very much an aspiring filmmaker himself. And, he was always kind of a cinephile first in many ways. Well, the channel was Cinemassacre. Yeah, the channel was called Cinemassacre and everything. So it always feels like he has a lot more zeal whenever he's talking about movies and even movie-related games, But here, he really tears into, like, even the Alien franchise, just talking about how, there's only one Alien sequel that's actually numbered, and that's Alien 3, inexplicably. It's like everything else is like, it's like, why didn't they commit to just, giving it a bunch of generic,
generic descriptors after the end or something like that. Like
He's
Alien
so
Resurrection.
triggered by the inconsistency
He
of it.
is.
And I get it because I am too. It's like with the Alien franchise, I could kind of forgive it, but he brings up a good point. The Alien 3 could have just been like could have had a subtitle and it would have just been,
Absolutely. It would have had a subtitle and it would have been fine.
yeah. And the Rocky series too, it's like the whole Rocky Balboa thing. I could see like Rocky 6 would have made more sense. But then again, right after that, we got Creed and Creed 2 and now Creed 3. So
yeah, we're 3 movies into that, and that's pretty good series. So
yeah. As far as like some of the games like Final Fantasy, that one's interesting because the numberings are just completely off between America and Japan.
It's so inexplicable, and we ended up getting those games anyways, and on certain PlayStation releases. So it's like, I mean, why the indiscrepancy?
Oh, it's been renumbered now, like even to like American audience. Like if you go look it up, it's Final Fantasy 1 through 6 now.
But they officially renumbered them for the PlayStation releases as well, for Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy Origins.
Yeah,
they officially renumbered them in their proper order.
Yeah, because what else are you gonna do? You have to go back to just the original number scheme. So I guess in the end, it's kind of a good thing that Final Fantasy VII just said fuck it. But I don't know. Like I can get why somebody would be pissed about that. Like
I don't know. In many ways, I mean, I barely questioned it when Final Fantasy VII came out. So I was just like, okay, so there's 7 games, and then I kind of found out about these indiscrepancies later on.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay, like especially when the first Final Fantasy anthology was released, which had 5 and 6 in it, I believe, in their proper numbered form.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a fun episode as well. That's why it's my number 5. I like how it's a little bit more. It feels a little bit more. I mean, it's more topical, like we said earlier. But
yeah,
James just kind of, I don't know. He feels more like his self than the character.
Yeah,
it feels a little bit more like genuine. I guess.
Yeah, it's more James Rolfe than nerd, I would say.
Yeah. But just kind of expanding on his or exaggerating his anger, so that he's the angry video game nerd. But yeah, with that, what's your number 4, Beau?
My number 4 is another series that we've talked about on the Director's Cut. We did a full franchise review of this, and that is the Friday the 13th episode. For one, the game itself has become a cult classic since this episode came out, in spite of its flaws and everything. And like even the purple Jason has kind of become iconic, even got his own action figure and whatnot. But here, I mean, the episode starts out, he's obviously under duress and everything, and he's basically praising the game while very passively, aggressively.
Right. Well, like Jason, played by I think his name was Matt or something.
It was both Mike Matei and James Rolfe.
Yeah, Mike Matei. That's it. Yeah. He's also Freddy in the Nightmare episode until
him and James in that
until
one as
James plays him at the end bit. But we'll talk about that one later. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Yeah, no, but the Friday the 13th episode I think is actually a lot of fun. It's a good like was it a Halloween episode or anything?
I think it was a Halloween episode, and it's kind of noteworthy for the first episode to kind of have a little bit of a storyline to it,
Yeah,
like
that's what I liked about it.
And it also really introduced one of his first like actual antagonists that it would pop up from time to time,
Right. Yeah, I liked the whole Jason bit. I love how they just kind of really went for more of a skit type episode. And that's kind of a format that I think is a lot of fun. I'd love to implement something like that with like the low budget late night stuff.
That would be a lot of fun.
Collateral Gaming equivalent.
and he eventually really kind of learned how to really nail a lot of those horror movie tropes as well, while still, still critiquing the game and everything.
Right.
Even going full Tommy Jarvis at the end.
Tommy Jarvis, fuck yeah.
I mean, yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I love that whole episode, and his frustrations with the game that you read passive aggressively through his voice until the end where he just goes fuck it, or periodic segments throughout where
Yeah, goes full final boy and everything.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny because it seems like an interesting game if it would have been executed better.
Yeah, like especially with the game map.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
mechanic of like having to go to save each of the hostages.
I mean,
like,
that's
or
interesting.
the camp counselors.
That is interesting in and of itself, but no, it just was not implemented properly. You had no way of actually seeing where you're going.
Right.
You don't know what way is what, like on the main world.
Right, exactly. So it's yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't seem like a lot of fun, but it's a cool idea.
it is. And also you have to protect the children as well. So
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta protect the kids,
protect the kids and also the counselors. So
the counselors,
yeah.
and fight Jason.
Oh yeah, you get to fight Jason in some of the cabins, which is, I mean, it's pretty interesting,
It turns into like a punch out thing.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, like, or it goes from that angle instead of the side scrolling. Yeah. But my number 4 is actually going to be another movie-based episode, or movie game-based episode, I should say. And that is Back to the Future. So what I really like about this episode is that it actually introduces some of his key catchphrases that later made their way into the theme song.
Yeah. It initially had the lyrics. What were they? Oh, why am I trying to think about this? I'm so totally fried. But yeah. He said the whole diarrhea dump. Buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear, and the whole eating a roadkill skunk thing is like, yeah, all of that came from this episode, pretty much.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I think both of those lines or two of them that ended up in the song. I can't remember which specific ones, but that's what I really enjoyed about it, is that I kind of, I heard the lines, and I also like how the original version of this episode actually had Back to the Future movie clips, and in fact, a lot of his season 1 episodes actually had movie clips.
Yeah, something that he kind of went away from a little bit until like some later episodes, probably for copyright reasons, I would imagine. But
yeah, and the later versions that got uploaded to YouTube actually ended up, or the ones that showed up on like DVD, apparently omitted the movies. And so like I've seen where we've watched a video like in someone's playlist that was the edited version, and then I saw the original version.
Yeah, you also get a lot of the edited versions for these episodes on the official season 1 cut that that Cinemassacre has.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a playlist of all the seasons and everything. They omit a lot of stuff on there. They even omit the first 2 episodes, Jekyll and Hyde and Simon's Quest.
Yeah, which is interesting because those are kind of unconventional episodes. It's where he was kind of still trying to figure out like the nerd character, and also I think like the first one is just his voice over the game, and the second one is just him talking to the camera, right?
Yeah, those are more like proofs of concept of the 2 main elements of his show.
Yeah, so which is why neither one of those 2 is actually on our list. Is that they're kind of more they're more proof of concept. They're like dual pilot episodes.
Yeah,
Karate Kid isn't that the number 3?
I think it is episode number 3.
Yeah, it is. Karate Kid is, and then I think Back to the Future is number 6. That's right. So yeah, this is still pretty early on. The nerd is still is working out that character. Yeah,
a little bit. But I mean, you also really see, how he is starting to incorporate his commentary on the game, with the live action bits and everything. Yeah, it's starting to flesh out a little better here,
Right. So I like how like we're kind of getting some of that like trademark. That's kind of where this starts properly. We get like the full nerd, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what's great about that episode. Let's see. That was our number 4 pick each. So number 3. What was your number 3?
My number 3 is actually the one episode that I said was not a movie related game. or anything like that. It's actually a peripheral, and that would be the Power Glove episode. Now, I remember when the Power Glove came out, I maybe knew like one kid that had it, and I don't know, I never really thought it was very functional or useful. I mean, the motion controls was novel. They were novel at the time, but you know, I kind of get why he made an episode on it, because I mean, some games it could be like really, really like spot on and it could actually work, but other games it was just a bunch of frustration.
Yeah, to say the least. So though the peripherals were they were very much gimmicks.
Very much so. You know, and to be fair, I mean, Nintendo eventually utilized that gimmick correctly with the Wii and pretty much changed the trajectory of their gaming platforms.
They did, yeah, no, like.
But I mean,
the Wii exploded. The Wii turned Nintendo into really allowed them to focus in on a particular demographic, and it's what they're doing great still today. Even though they've kind of switched to more traditional button type controls, they're still kind of doing that innovation that really defined kind of the early Nintendo. The Power Glove is an example of that. Something my dad grew up with. He swears, my dad defends this thing. He swears that it worked. and he talks about like airplane games. Like, I don't know if maybe he played Top Gun or because
I could see where the flying sim games would be beneficial to use that. I can see that, like especially with motion controls in general. But I mean, I don't know. I guess the 6-axis kind of showed how that could be a little bit iffy.
But yeah, no. I mean, if they controls actually worked with that sort of game, which maybe it did, because in this episode the nerd actually successfully lands the plane, which he couldn't do in the with the original controller.
Yeah, that's a real boilerplate moment right there.
Right?
Like, seriously.
It's kind of like his one of his later episodes where he does Zelda 2, but he does it like with his eyes closed or turned around or something. And he actually beats Zelda 2 like while he beats the final boss, I believe, which is Shadow Link, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was Shadow Link, I think.
And and he just beats it while complaining about how impossible it is, which makes me wonder that to make that footage, he did have to beat it.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the brilliant thing about this series. You know, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of these episodes where he does play through a full game and everything, and you know, you kind of get the full experience of that.
Yeah, sometimes he actually completes the game. Sometimes he can't. Like, it's literally impossible. And with some of these Power Glove bits, I mean, that was the case. It was just kind of like, you know, try the game out for a little bit, see if it's actually possible. And for most of them, it wasn't. Like, Metroid couldn't get Samus to jump up onto that ledge to go get the morph ball.
Super Mario Brothers
could barely get over the pipes.
Not even playable.
Neither of those were playable. And then just seeing him just like really struggle with the glove, with the lack of controls or knowledge of what the controls can do, like what specific motions correspond to what. Like, I could see how that could be frustrating.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those peripherals that, you know, it looked cool more than it actually functioned well.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I like how he would later go on to do more like peripheral episodes, you know, getting into these kinds of,
Like Rob the Robot. That's another classic one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, those ones, those episodes are actually a lot of fun. And I like, there's another one that he does that was, maybe was it
There was a bunch of Nintendo peripherals.
Like a bunch of Nintendo peripherals?
He also did one on Game Boy peripherals.
Yeah, I want to say there was something that had to do with LJN or...
Yeah, I think that he finally did a big old takedown of LJN recently as this time last year. But he did one on the Jaguar.
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually kind of a fun first type of that episode, and you know, well, how better to do than the Power Glove?
The Power Glove,
and it's actually the conclusion to the Nightmare on Elm Street episode, which is after the Friday the 13th episode.
Yeah, that actually leads into the Power Glove episode,
right? And he beats Freddy with the Power Glove, or the Freddy version of him, or whatever. My number 3 is actually pickle.
Shit pickle, shit pickle, shit pickle, 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 shit pickle, shit pickle, 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 shit pickle, pickle, shit pickle.
That is Master Chew and the Drunkard Who, which was the debut of Shit Pickle.
Yep, the shit pickle himself.
Shit pickle, 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 pickle.
That's the first kind of lore character that he actually introduced, right?
Yeah, and his first guest star.
Yeah,
guest
exactly.
host.
Yeah,
So, Shit Pickle.
shit pickle.
Shit Pickle. I mean, as for the game itself, it looks like a broken mess.
Yeah, it's barely even anything to really remark on. It's not remarkable in any way.
No, that's why he just uses the Shit Pickle gimmick throughout the episode, and it works because it's just like this game is unremarkable. It's like, how much can I really remember about the game itself? Master Who and the Drunken Chew. Master Chew and the Drunken Who? I mean, what the fuck is it even?
Exactly. What the fuck?
I'm keeping that in as is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no. Master Chew and the broken, the Drunken Who.
And the broken sword with of the Who's. What's a who?
What's a who? Exactly. Shit Pickle.
Shit pickle, pickle, pickle. Shit pickle, 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 shit pickle, shit pickle, shit pickle.
Shit Pickle.
Shit pickle. Yeah, that's pretty much the most notable thing about that episode, and honestly, a good classic character. Honestly, Shit pickle is fun.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what else there is to say about that other than Shit Pickle.
Shit pickle.
Shit Pickle.
Shit pickle.
All right, Beau. What is your? I guess we're moving up to number 2 now.
Yep. Number 2 is a movie that's kind of tied to another movie that came out recently that was really, really big, and also, like I said, it's kind of a classic nerd moment in that he has one of those games that he references in other episodes still to this day, and that's Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yeah, we actually it got brought up in the Power Glove episode, right?
Yeah, exactly. He finally landed the plane. Well, if you actually watch him try to land the plane with just a regular controller, it's like that looks impossible almost. It's like it actually deters me from playing that game.
Yeah, and the original version of this episode actually has Highway to the Danger Zone.
Exactly, it does.
The Kenny Loggins, bro.
Kenny fucking Loggins, man.
Loggins.
The Login.
K-Log.
The K-Log, bro. Fucking
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, no, Top Gun actually, that shit looks impossible. How the fuck do you land that plane?
And how the fuck did he do it with the Power Gloves janky bullshit?
Like, maybe it worked. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So yeah, the Top Gun episode is yeah, I like you said earlier, I like how a lot of yours are like movie references, and honestly mine are too, actually. Most of them are.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, actually, because my number 2 is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh, nice.
The sequel to the Friday the 13th episode, which I considered for my list as well, but I went with Nightmare on Elm Street because I just like the clone bit. And the fact that he actually takes a dump on the cartridge.
Yeah, is that the first time that he actually shits on a game in this series? I think
so.
I think it is, and that's become a hallmark of this series, even to the point that Matt Pat did a game theory on the Angry Video Game Nerd, and his theory was one of the reasons he's so angry because he has irritable bowel syndrome because he's always shitting all the time.
Matt Pat would.
Yeah,
oh my
fucking
God.
goddamn Matt Pat did a game theory on him.
Okay, that tracks.
Yeah, it does, right?
Jesus Christ, I love that. Okay. Yeah, no, but I like that whole bit. I like the shadow clone bit. That's a lot of fun, and I like the whole like escape sequence and the part where he actually ponders going to the front door or the closet.
That's hilarious. That is just total fucking movie nerd shit right there.
And then goes into the closet where he meets Freddy, whose face I think up until this point has been obscured. And
yeah.
it was actually Mike, I guess. But at this point, it's played by him, and it's revealed that he is the.
He is
Freddy.
He is Freddy
because he subjects himself to shitty games. You like to play shitty games?
Oh, yeah, play that shitty game. That's a funny portrayal of Freddy.
Do you like Nintendo?
Do you like to play shitty games? Jesus Christ.
Bitch.
And then there's the fact that the game is just an unremarkable side-scrolling, not even it is a platformer, right?
Yeah.
At least in certain levels.
It's Castlevania-like, I guess I would say.
I don't know. I think that's a stretch to compare to Castlevania.
Well, the nerd compares it with Simon's Quest, so there's that.
To be fair, the nerd compares everything to Castlevania. He even references that at one point when he does his actual Castlevania series deep dive.
Does he lampshade it?
He lampshades it hard.
Does he? Wait.
He shows all the clips where he says like Castlevania, but like Castlevania. It's like,
yeah, I think I've seen the episode.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty funny actually. But yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street game looks. It's like parts of it actually look kind of cool, like the whole Dream World bit where you could just be other characters. Like, why couldn't that just be the fucking game?
Yeah, that would actually be fun. That'd be interesting. It would have been dynamic.
Yeah, like with modern gaming conventions, I can see something where you kind of had like this like sleep system or whatever. But back in the 80s or 90s, I think 80s, right?
There's no way that they could have implemented that in any real way, meaningful way.
Right.
There's just no way.
Exactly. And it was just, it was not, like, this seemed like the Dream World should have just been the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Dream World is the coolest part of that game. And it even follows the whole thing where you have to fucking find Freddy and Freddy's bones and put them together in order to fight him or something like that.
Right, like there's a whole gimmick like that. That's where the Simon's Quest comparison comes from.
Yeah, it's like, why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe it worked for Castlevania, but it's also in the worst Castlevania game.
And it didn't make sense of that one.
No, not at all.
And all the bones look the same, right? They just look like generic cartoon dog bones.
Yeah, they're dog bones. It's like, what the fuck? Not even a skull? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's skull spiders.
Right? And you can just punch the spiders. Punch them.
The snakes.
You want some of this? Pop, pop.
It's like, yeah, that's gnarly though.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it. Fuck yeah. I mean, so that's like the Nightmare on Elm Street game at least seems like it could be fun at times if it just weren't for other mechanics.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for our number one picks, Beau.
My number one pick is, of course, what I think is the first real proper nerd episode. And I can see, like I said, I can see why they skipped over a couple of the first episodes, before this one. And that's The Karate Kid. Mm-hmm. This is where you actually have the proof of concept come together and it actually coalesces.
Yeah, this is number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
As we mentioned earlier,
yeah. This is episode number 3.
And it's where like you have the format is set up and when we have the character.
Exactly. And at first there's some weird jump cut stuff that he used to do back in the day that he did here, like near the beginning and the end of these episodes. But for the most part, I mean, he really like just demonstrates how shitty the game is. I mean, he demonstrates. I mean, all that is set in stone here.
It's just way too fucking difficult.
It is.
Was the issue with the game, right? Was that it's just.
Well, I think he later kind of admitted that in some of the footage he had to kind of, fuck up intentionally a little bit.
Yeah, I gotcha.
He had to fudge it just to get interesting footage of how bad the game is.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, the game never really appealed to me, and I love The Karate Kid. I used to watch the original first 2 movies all the fucking time.
Right.
But I mean, this just has those little mini games that are nearly impossible. Like they do the catching a fly with chopsticks thing and everything. It's like I could never get that down every time I tried to play this game. So I share with that frustration, and that made for the first truly good, proper nerd episode. And that's why for me it's number one out of this season.
Danielson.
Yeah, and that ending screen.
Yes.
It's just all that just for Mr. Miyagi to give you a wink. It's like, and it was only like what, 4 episodes, and it was only like what, 4 levels,
right? So that were just insanely difficult.
Yeah, 4 insanely difficult levels, and well, no, it's like the first one was apparently easy enough because it was basically just fighting in the tournament,
right? But
the other 3, it's like, why? You know, why make those so fucking difficult?
So they can be lazy and only design 3 levels, 4 levels, you know?
That's bullshit.
Exactly. So you design 4 levels, you just make 3 insanely difficult. You just and that's really easy to set. Just set the damage values where you want them, and the aggressiveness of the AI.
Yeah.
Just kind of set those values, and you don't have to do a lot of work with designing each level. So
yeah. That makes sense.
From a developer standpoint, I can see why, but that is also what we call an unfinished product.
Absolutely. It's totally unfinished. It's frustratingly unfinished.
Yeah. It's a lazy approach if you think about it.
Yeah, and that's not to say that short games or games with not so many levels can't be good, you know?
But there needs to be some depth.
Yeah, there's not any depth to any of this.
Right.
No.
So, and I like how, the nerd expounds upon that in his classic exaggerated persona, which we finally actually kind of see here properly for the first
full.
time.
Yeah, in full.
Like I said, I think that some of the character kind of develops fully later on, but this is where we get the first instance of the character.
I would say
as a real concept.
I would say that by the Power Glove episode, he's starting, and around the time the Power Glove episode and the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare episodes, like that's when we get angry video game nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, exactly. Like kind of throughout this season, and that comes full force with the actual. I think it's the final episode of the season, and it is appropriately the Christmas episode.
Yep.
Bible games. So
wow.
We actually talked about this in our last list. So I mean, it's kind of logical that it would show up in my list this time.
Yeah.
But Bible games for sure came up in our holiday episodes, and I just love how he kind of just plays through each of these like sub games within each of these games. It's kind of a collection episode, and it comes at them with the full intent to attempt the game.
Yeah.
He takes it seriously. And I love how like the games are just so lazily designed.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of faith-based media in general. I mean, if you're a listener of Collateral Cinema, you know that we do take on bad religious faith movies, faith-based movies. And there's only a very small amount of that type of media that's even remotely good.
Exactly.
This shit is just appalling.
Worlds of Gaming is no different. So, Beau and I are atheists, so I mean we maybe we're biased, maybe we're just, we scoff at everything because we're Redditors or something.
Oh, total Redditors. I have yet to touch grass today.
Exactly. But in the worlds of both cinema and gaming, I don't think that faith-based works have been very successful. I don't know. There's a new Jesus Christ game. Did that come out?
I don't know.
I know they were talking about it. Did that actually happen? Was it good?
I don't know.
The game where you play as Jesus? I mean, that seems kind of sacrilegious.
I mean, I don't know. I could kind of see where you could kind of get a better experience as to how Jesus lived or something, but
I don't know. That's from an outsider's perspective, but I mean, just seeing what Christian game developers have done. I mean, the fact that these games are mostly illegal is bewildering.
Yeah,
I think he brings that up.
But it's kind of on point there as well, especially with, evangelicals in the 90s. I mean, they were always just trying to create their own like alternative type of media like that, which fair enough. I mean, and at least back then, fair enough.
At least the Wolfenstein clone actually looks
the Wolfenstein clone is funny.
The story looks fun, but that's because it's literally Wolfenstein.
I believe that id Software totally gave away the code to their game.
Yeah, I know.
I believe that.
I love how he kind of goes on about that theory, and I'm inclined to believe it as well. It actually makes sense.
Yeah, because they did fuck up Wolfenstein 3D on Super Nintendo. Which was egregious because, I mean, they did make a Doom port that was kind of okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell?
Right. Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah, and then like the initial set of Bible games, because this episode was originally split into 2 episodes, right?
I think it was.
So, and the first set that he goes through is like a trilogy. It's like a collection of 3 games, and it's Noah's Ark, Baby Moses,
and I want to say David and Goliath or something.
Yeah, and you collect the sheep or something.
Yeah.
So, Baby Moses, Baby Moses, Baby Moses.
Jesus Christ.
But those games are all they all have the same concept. They're all like just this stacking mechanic that was lifted straight out of Super Mario Brothers 2.
Absolutely, that's all that they were. They were just clones of all the excuse me. They were just clones of that gameplay, and it's just really, really egregious.
Oh, it's very egregious.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of wraps it up on our top 5 list. Overall, the Angry Video Game Nerd Season 1, how do you think you feel about it? Watching it again this year, especially as compared to later episodes.
Well, I mean, obviously you see a much younger James Rolfe here. I mean, this is in 2006 or 2002 even, I think. No, it was 2006. And you see him fleshing this character out. I mean, he just, did his proof of concept and everything, and it's kind of interesting to see all the little idiosyncrasies that would come into later episodes kind of really formed here. You know?
I agree.
Like for instance, the aforementioned, shitting and everything, and the theme song itself. I mean, the shows like this live and die by their theme song, and this is one of the all-time classic YouTube themes. I think it's absolutely classic.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Angry Video Game Nerd as a character is iconic, and it's actually really interesting this season how we kind of just see the story begin. We see actually him starting what appears to be, low budget, filmed out of his home, and it's kind of become a much bigger sensation.
But it still looks good. That's the thing. It looks good. It's still funny all these years later.
Especially the the 3rd episode on. So I actually looked it up. The first 2 episodes actually were released or created in 2004 and were available on as part of a film compilation with other short films.
Interesting.
So like you said, he was kind of a short filmmaker. So that's kind of how the Angry Video Game Nerd started out. And then 2 years later, in 2006, he actually started the web series proper. Yeah,
it's interesting that we have that little 2-year period where we didn't really get the fully fleshed out nerd, and then he comes out with Karate Kid, and there it is. There's the nerd as we know it.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of where the Angry Video Game Nerd starts. And it's where I think we focused on episodes 3 onwards. But yeah, I know it was actually a lot of fun to kind of go back and watch through season 1 again. I mean, we definitely have been watching a lot of Angry Video Game Nerd throughout the years, even throughout the year outside of Christmas sometimes, but especially during Christmas. So it was kind of nice to go back and just kind of see where it all began. I mean, we've watched a lot of these episodes over and over again though too, so
oh, definitely.
I mean, like I said, the Rocky one, I think we actually ended up watching that one around the time we did Rocky 2. We were checking it out back last year when we did the holiday episodes. Bible Games was on there.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but yeah, I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. It's such a fun series. And I think it's actually kind of cool to talk about, on a bonus round type episode where we, get into gaming culture. And I think a lot of it is here. And I love the focus on retro games. It's kind of what I want to emulate if we ever make, low budget late night happen. And like if we have a Collateral Gaming equivalent of that, this is kind of like where I'd want it to be.
Yeah, definitely. He set the standard for this type
Yeah.
of thing. I mean, him and, Brad Jones and Doug Walker back in the day, and also,
Right.
like Linkara and Spoonie, Felis, like a lot of that original Channel Awesome crowd, like they really kind of pioneered the whole character-based review format.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a format that's not nearly as popular as it used to be, I mean, even Cinemassacre has taken a little bit of a hit in, subscribers and views and everything. But, I mean, they're still going strong. I mean, they're still doing the damn thing. And honestly, I look forward to talking about future seasons on other holiday bonus rounds.
Yeah, same here. So if you are looking for something fun to do this holiday season, I definitely recommend you check out these episodes that we talked about of The Angry Video Game Nerd, or maybe just watch through season 1 proper, or maybe just watch The Angry Video Game Nerd. I recommend it, crack open some Rolling Rock and and maybe, get high.
He did just release a new episode. It's his holiday episode, and it's on Garfield.
Yeah, okay, so the last one I thought was Doom. The Garfield one must be really new.
No, it's like last night new.
Oh,
practically.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah. And I know his schedule slowed down a lot. Isn't it just like monthly now?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of salty about that, but it's like, what are you gonna do? He has a family. He's got to do his damn thing.
Yeah. I
You know?
mean, I think it's really great that he's able to kind of do an episode monthly. Put his whole effort into it.
Yeah, he's got his legacy pretty much, secured.
And he's dealing with video and everything, and it's all scripted, I think, in advance.
It is.
It definitely seems to be. It's rehearsed,
I think he still has the Screen Junkies guys working with him, like Kieran and all of them from Kieran and Justin.
Yeah,
I believe.
I've been surprised that from the start, his episodes have always been like well edited. They seemed rehearsed. Like, he was definitely like there was no hiccups or.
Yeah, he nailed it. He got it down early on.
Yeah, there's definitely a quality to it, that starts from the very beginning, and that's why we decided to talk about it this holiday season. But folks, if you're enjoying happy holidays and you want more content, stick around for our holiday special on God of War Ragnarok. The time of recording this, we should be recording that tomorrow. So, yeah, we are going to be, Zachary, Gio, and I are going to be hitting our spoiler-y thoughts about God of War Ragnarok, my game of the year. I just beat it either last night or the night before last. I think last night. And man, it is amazing. It is a wonderful Christmas present. So I'm excited to talk about that. We're going to have that out by Christmas Eve. That is the plan. On Collateral Cinema, we should also be doing our Christmas or our holiday special. Saving Christmas should be out either by Christmas Eve or by Christmas Eve.
We're going to have it out by tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Yeah. Yeah, I think after this, we are actually going to go to our editing suite and go and get these episodes. We're going to go get these episodes banged out.
Yeah, so if everything goes to plan, that should all be available very soon.
Yes, yeah. Saving Christmas and our director's cut episode on Adult Swim holiday episodes.
Right.
Yeah, which is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So, yeah, fuck yeah, guys. Enjoy Merry Christmas if you're celebrating that. Happy holidays if you're celebrating anything this month. And be safe out there. Stay tuned for more content. I think, let me think if there's anything else. Oh, Zelda, A Link Between Worlds Part 2. We're going to have that out by the end of the month for sure. We had Dan Rockwood from Victims and Villains on Part 1. We were hoping to get him on Part 2. Since we delayed it by a week, we'll see. Otherwise, it'll just be us. I think with Ragnarok, like Megan ended up going out on.
Oh, okay.
She was going to be on part 2, but she and Alan ended up going out on a vacation. They went out of town.
Oh, okay. Okay.
For family. So, yeah, Megan, if you're listening, Alan, if you're listening, and I was looking forward to having you both on God of War Ragnarok Part 2, but it's okay. We'll talk about God of War. Maybe we'll do a bonus round like when New Game Plus comes out in the spring. We can have you guys on because I know y'all are excited about it. But yeah, stay tuned for that. I think on the Collateral Cinema side, we should also be doing like a Patreon Black Christmas episode at some point, and the Love Guru by the end of this month.
Yep, the Love Guru, exactly.
The Love Guru, yeah.
Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska Hargitay.
Stupid.
What's coming up in the month of January for Collateral Cinema?
We got Silent Hill in the works. I believe we should have Cinema Recall joining us with that. Love Guru, I believe we have the Geek Freaks, someone from Geek Freaks joining us on that one.
Nice.
And we will also be doing Clueless. So, yeah, stick around for those episodes in January.
Hell yeah. And in Collateral Gaming, January is going to be Takes Two. That's going to be the our numbered episode, 2-part episode that month. And let me see what else. I think, we're celebrating our anniversary special next month. So that's going to be an arcade game mega review, similar to what we did a few seasons ago, where we did an arcade game mega review on light gun shooters. This one's going to be on fighters in particular.
I can't wait for that, man. I love arcade fighting games, SNK, Neo Geo, Capcom, Midway, all that good stuff. I can't wait.
Yeah. And also because we're doing Silent Hill next month, on the Collateral Gaming side, that our bonus round that month is going to be Silent Hill crossover. So yeah, technically we're collaborating on the Silent Hill movie episode.
Yeah,
and then we're doing the video game on the video game podcast side. We're doing we're going to go over the Silent Hill games. I think we decided that we wanted to do like the first Silent Hill 4 The Room, and then Silent Hill Downpour or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. We wanted to do a couple of them, do a good one and a bad one.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Silent Hill 1 and Downpour.
Silent Hill 1 would be good.
I think it was Silent Hill 1. And I think like maybe next season we might talk about Silent Hill 4. It's all in progress. Like we've planned like seasons ahead on both podcasts practically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Me and Beau at least. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Also, Fire Emblem Engage is coming out in January, so I would love to do a game launch episode on that.
Excellent.
Yep. So that's pretty much everything that's coming up next month with Collateral Gaming and Collateral Cinema. Beau, thanks for being a part of this again. Definitely love that we've had you a lot. We've had you on a lot more this season, which has been nice.
Yeah, it's good to be on here a little more often, talking about video games. I do have a little more to say about that.
I think we have more to come. I mean, I think you're my go-to guy for 420 now.
Yeah, pretty
Zach
much.
and Megan don't smoke.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I think we've even got more collaborations planned this season. But yeah, folks, stay safe. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or feedback on your platform of choice. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, all the favorite podcast apps that you would listen to your favorite shows.
And check out our Patreon, because very soon I think Beau and I should be getting streaming handled.
Yeah, we should start live streaming, and we might do some special Q&A live streams for our patrons.
And if we're able to set it up, I think you were talking about how we could start doing game streaming too.
Yes, definitely. I want to start streaming games and doing commentaries for that, doing Q&As during gameplay and everything. Like, just kind of talk about, what we talked about on episodes of the show. So, yeah.
More importantly, making the Patreon happen again.
Yes.
Thank you, Beau.
Yeah, definitely.
If we can make this happen, if you can help me out with this, then we can get the Patreon working again, and that is going to be awesome because we'll be able to do exclusive Let's Play video game commentaries. We do have some out although already, so if you want to become a Patreon, check it out. We are also on Podbean Patreon, so you can subscribe through Podbean as well.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah. So I think that's about all there is to say, guys. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Horrible abominations of mankind. They make him so mad he could spit or say cowabunga. Cow a fucking piece of dog shit. They rip you off and don't care one bit. But this nerd, he doesn't forget it. Why can't a turtle swim? Why can't I land the plane? They got a quick buck for this shitload of fuck. The characters' names are wrong. Why's the password so long? Why don't the weapons do anything? He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. The game sucks so bad he makes up his own words. He's the angriest, most pissed off gaming nerd. He's the angry Atari, Amiga, CDI, ColecoVision, and Television, Sega, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx, 16, Odyssey, 3DO, Commodore, Nintendo nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.
Collateral Gaming is a Collateral Media Podcast. All music and game clips are owned by their respective creators and are used for educational purposes only. Please don't sue us. We're poor.